Hey guys, welcome to another New World video. In today's video, I thought we could revisit an old guide I had made because of the recent influx of players, both new and returning. And with all of the changes, there is a ton missing from my old guide. And the topic I'm talking about is of course expertise. When you hit level 60, expertise will be the most important thing to you. What is it? Why is it important? And where do you get it? That's what I'm going to try to answer. So get comfortable, grab a drink, and let's get into it. So first, let's just briefly talk about what expertise is, and why it is so important for those players out there that may be new. New World, much like other MMOs, has a gear score system, and this system is called the expertise system. This expertise system affects each gear slot independently, so you will need to increase each item separately. Armor slots, all weapon types you plan to use, and even ones you don't, and of course jewelry. These will all have separate gear scores, or expertise. This system starts once you hit level 60 and you will be set to expertise 500 upon reaching this level. You can equip items of higher gear score even though yours is only 500 for example. However, equipping the item will not increase your gear score. Expertise is very important because it dictates the effectiveness of your gear. How so? Let me explain. Say you are a fresh 60 with an expertise of 500 in bow, and you find a great 560 bow on the marketplace you want to buy. Well, when you buy and equip this 560 expertise bow, you will quickly notice that the bow will now be only 530 expertise. This is because all items you purchase in this system that are higher expertise than you have currently earned in that slot will be expertise squished to the halfway mark between your actual expertise and the expertise of the item purchased. There are of course exceptions to this rule though. Any item you craft for yourself, any item you've earned from a quest, or any item that you had purchased before the update that had added expertise system will not squish. Although they will also not increase your expertise in that slot to the amount of the item. Another important thing to note about expertise is that your current expertise in a slot will directly affect the potential gear score of drops you can get. So if your gear score is only 500, you won't be seeing any 600 gear score legendaries dropping anytime soon, which is why it is important to raise your expertise as quickly as possible. So by now you're probably asking yourself, okay, it is important, so how can I go about raising it already? Well, there are a few ways. And rest easy knowing that with some recent changes it is also a lot faster now, so you will get it done pretty quickly if you focus on it. So the first thing we will talk about is Gypsum, as this will be your best and most reliable way to get those expertise increase bumps you're after. Gypsum is a resource that you will collect each day by doing the various tasks in New World that you will most probably want to do anyway, which is why it is a great system. There are currently 9 types of Gypsum that you will be wanting to collect, and these are Obsidian Gypsum. You receive this by defeating level 60 plus open world name bosses typically found in Elite Landmark, like Ivan the Inevitable for example. Sapphire Gypsum. You receive these by defeating the final bosses in the endgame expeditions like the Lazarus Instrumentality and the Garden of Genesis. The Ruby Gypsum. This will be awarded to you when you complete an Outpost Rush match, but be aware that you have to receive 500 points in that match in order to be eligible. Emerald Gypsum. This is awarded to you when you gain an aptitude level in any trade skill. Citrine Gypsum. This will be awarded to you upon completing any of the PvE arenas. Amethyst Gypsum. This is awarded to you for closing level 60 plus breaches, although it's not guaranteed for every breach you close, so you will need to join a Zerg group and close as many as possible as quickly as possible. Topaz Gypsum. This requires the consumption of a special attunement potion. This potion can be crafted at your tier 5 camp or an Arcana station. Once consumed, you simply need to kill level 55 plus mobs until the topaz drops. Diamond Gypsum. You will receive these from special events like the Medley Fair or the Easter event or the Christmas event, or when no event is active you will receive your Diamond Gypsum by gathering any type of node in a tournament that you will use a tool to gather. And Garnet Gypsum. These are earned in the 3v3 PvP arenas. You will need to complete these activities multiple times per day to receive the gypsum to make the corresponding orb, but be aware the amount of each type of gypsum also has a cap, so you can't simply spam one activity getting gypsum over and over either. Once you have the gypsum, you will then want to take it to your kiln, where you will want to use it to craft gypsum orbs. These kilns are located in any of the current endgame zones. For example, the Ebonscale Reach Settlement, Reekwater Settlement, the Great Cleave Outposts, the Eden Grove Outposts, and the Shattered Mountain Outpost. You can also purchase 2 orbs per day from the faction PvP vendor, and on top of that, most quests in the endgame zones where the kilns are located also reward you with an orb, making getting these orbs a ton more streamlined than it once was. Once you have these orbs, you can use them at the kilns once again to craft gypsum casts. There is no limit per day on how many orbs you can craft or gather. However, there is a cast limit, which is 1 per slot per day. Then, once you have your casts, you will then open them and receive an item of the slot type you crafted and a bump in that slot's expertise. Another bonus to the system is that since they added the perfect salvage system, these orbs are a unique type though, which means they are then used to craft a new unique type of cast. The reason this is important is that it allows you to craft a second cast for 5 slots, which doubles the expertise increase potential for your 5 desired slots per day. These special orbs are crafted using the new infused fragments, weapon, arcane, jewelry, and armor, which you will receive when you salvage any 600 gear score item. Now, obviously the chances you will be receiving 600 expertise items to salvage will be pretty low while leveling your expertise. But the good news is, many high-level crafters are, every day. And these fragments are tradable and available on your market in large quantities, so you can purchase these each day if you wish. Another great way to increase your expertise is of course running expeditions, especially now since they've added the group finder tool, making finding groups much faster and easier, and the removal of the expedition keys which used to limit your runs. You will receive a lot of expertise bumps while running expeditions, with of course your guaranteed bump from the last boss on top of that. You will also receive your Sapphire Gypsum for your first 2 expedition completions per day. As you can see, expeditions are an amazing resource for bumping your expertise very quickly. You will of course also have a high chance of receiving expertise bumps now when opening out post-rush reward boxes. This used to be a horrible way to farm your expertise, but recent changes to the reward boxes has fixed that, and now these boxes respect your current expertise and your chance for bumps is very high. This also applies to PvP arenas. Not only will you receive your daily Citrine Gypsum, but you will also receive a guaranteed expertise bump from the reward box you receive upon completion. There is also on top of this a great bonus benefit to running these now as well. They have recently added new guaranteed 600 expertise gear patterns to the loot boxes from these arenas. When you craft these items, you will get a guaranteed 600 expertise item without needing trophies, or anything really. And the great thing about this is twofold. 1, you will receive a +2 expertise bump in the slot of the item that you have crafted, but also, as I explained earlier, any item crafted by yourself with expertise 600 will not squish regardless of your current gear score. So it is a nice power boost in expertise on your gear to make getting into expeditions much easier while working on raising your expertise. And with current changes on the live servers, there is also another great way to increase your expertise, and that is by farming world bosses. Recently AGS has patched the world bosses, increasing their level to 63, as well as increasing the cap on the expertise potential these bosses can drop. Meaning that now you could farm these bosses if you wished all the way to expertise 600. Now, I do not recommend however doing this as your primary way of leveling your expertise. As you know, this is New World and the boss drops can be few and far between at times. However, this makes a great way of getting a few bumps when you're watching Netflix and just want to do something productive to pass the time. The bosses you can target to do this are Baines, Kalen the Georgian in Eden Grove, the Unhallowed Soul of Mirkgard in the Old Mirkgard Forest, High Priest Osaguera in Nihilo Visage, Articulon the Unshackled and Mosril the Herald in the Balebane Maw, the Caminus Gate Lord and Overseer Levy in Caminus, Ziwang the Immovable and Du Shen the Unstoppable in the Spaleo Cavern, the Corrupted Executor Luca in the East Illumin, Pitlord Dehi in West Illumin, Mirepaw in the Congregation, the Blightbringer in the Lamnet Muskeg, Smoothbore Samuel in Maria's Rest, Thorn of the Heartwood in Ska Makage, Nasher in the Serenity Monastery, Ivan the Inevitable, Mordecai the Mortician, Slayer Rosalind, and Farley found in the Skysong Crypt. So you have a lot to choose from. While farming these bosses, I recommend wearing as much luck gear as you can possibly get your hands on. Although luck does not directly affect your chances at getting any expertise increase, it does, however, affect your chances of getting rare drops, which will be your source of those expertise bumps. And finally, you can still do the old elite chest farm for your expertise bumps. This was, as I am sure you know, the old way everyone used to max when it was the high watermark system before expertise, and yes, it does still work. However, this method is incredibly boring though, and I can't recommend it. But if you're looking to get bumps in every way possible to speed up your expertise farm, then you can also once per day do these chest runs, and yes, you will probably consistently get some expertise bumps for doing so. And that just about covers it. If you do some of the items on this list, or even all of them if you really have a ton of time on your hands, you should hit 600 expertise in every slot in no time at all. They really have streamlined the expertise progress with some recent updates. It definitely is not the grind you remember if you've been away for a while. If you have any further questions about expertise or anything really, I have a ton of guides listed in the description. And you are always free to ask in the comments, of course. I always answer. And if you need an answer quickly, my best recommendation is to join the community Discord. Someone is always there and available to help. I also wanted to let everyone know that I will still be making videos, although they may not be posted every single day. Because of some recent changes in my life, I have been forced to continue my day job as a social worker and take a night job 4 nights a week cleaning. I am still going to squeeze in playing New World and making content as frequently as I can. So please hang in there, the videos will be posted. I am not looking for sympathy or giving you a sob story. We simply do what we must to keep the boat afloat, right? Anyway, guys. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.